Hi, this is the Business Guy. Here's how I got into the asset protection business. I was 29 years old and I had a 6-unit apartment building on the wrong side of the tracks and I hired a guy to fix it up. I hired a contractor. He was a new guy in town, kind of down on his luck, needed money to pay his taxes, I guess, so he did the job to fix up this apartment building pretty cheap. And so it was like a rental income property, and a lot of people who are on welfare and government assistance lived in the building, so they get their checks on the first and they pay the rent. And so I hired this guy to fix the place up. Well, it turned out this guy moved from place to place. He was an international con man. And so he started the fix up on the property, and then he, instead of spending all of the money that I'd given him on doing the project that I'd paid him for, he took the big down payment I made on the project and he paid his tax bill, and then he ran out of money. And so what he did is he went to one of these break your knees factor financing joints, and he borrowed money, and he took and got another loan from them, and another loan, and somehow, because he was working for me, he got me to sign some things unaware, he got me on the hook to pay back the money that he had borrowed. And so I was young, naive, terrified. I didn't hardly had a dollar to my name. I was just getting started in life. We just had our second child, just brought home the second child from the hospital, our son. And that's when the process server knocked on the door. Some big ugly guy handed me papers and said, "Here, you've been served." I was served with a lawsuit from this factor financing joint that this con man had gotten me on the hook for. And I had to fight to survive. I had to learn how to protect myself because I didn't really have money to hire, the best lawyers, like I do now. I'd box their ears in. But back then I didn't have money to do that. And so I had to learn how to protect myself. I had to learn asset protection, and learned it inside and out. And now have the largest asset protection from lawsuits firm in the entire country. Here we are. Started the business 33 years ago, but it all started from a very, very painful experience, and that's how I got into the asset protection business. I learned how to protect myself. Started teaching seminars around the country on asset protection. Wrote a book on asset protection, then wrote several books and workbooks that go along with my seminars, and that's how I got started, and that's how I developed a passion for asset protection. So now I have this deep passion to protect other people from the ravages of lawsuits. You think about it, these laws are just inventions of the human mind made up by humans, and most of the lawmakers, what profession are they in? They're lawyers. And when they're in there and making the laws, they're writing the laws to the benefit of their own profession, to make it easier to get their hands into your pocket. So asset protection is like a countermeasure. It's like the counterweight on the scale that puts the scale in your favor, the scale of justice in your favor. So that's what asset protection does. And when we set up an offshore asset protection trust, which is the strongest asset protection tool there is, what it does is it takes the assets and it puts it beyond the reach of the local court. So when the U.S. judge says, "Give me the money," our law firm in the Cook Islands can say, "Nope, not going to. You don't have jurisdiction down here." And that's why it's so rock solid. And so that's how I started in the asset protection business, and that's why I have such a deep passion, because I experienced the pain of litigation at a young age. This is the Business Guy.